Hola mi gente, ¿cómo están? Mi nombre es Alba Mar. Me pueden decir Alba, el canal se llama Seriela. Estamos aquí para hablar de libros y algunos de ellos en español desde Puerto Rico. Hello, my name is Alba Mar. You may call me Alba. The channel name is Seriela. We're here to talk about books and some of them in Spanish from Puerto Rico. And this is going to be fast. I'm going to put the timer on for no more than 10 minutes because I don't know when another aftershock is going to come. The last one was, according to USGS, at 11:05. Now it's right now 12 midnight. At 11:05 there was a 4.6, and at 10:52 p.m. there was a 4.3. Right, close by, same place, at the epicenter. And I feel a lot better, much more calm, despite the aftershocks, because the ex-director of our seismic center at the University of Puerto Rico Mayagüez campus, Christovan Hillebrand, yeah, very Puerto Rican name, but she speaks Spanish fluently, yes. Christovan Hillebrand says that aftershocks are absolutely normal. It would be abnormal if they didn't happen. So that sort of calms me down. I'm here to do a tag. Thank you so much, Ros. Ros, of the beautiful channel name, original, like no one else. Ros's channel name is Scallydandling about the books. Scallydandling about the books. And she tagged me for the New Year's book tag, the 2020 version. The original version was at the channel Bookables for 2018, and then Triumphal Reads filmed his 2020 adaptation recently, and then Steve Donoghue just continued with the tag, and he tagged Ros, and Ros tagged me, and I will tag a lot of other people at the end because I love tagging people. Here we go. The first question is, how many books are you planning to read in 2020? Well, I confess, I had wanted to set the number at 70. But I didn't reach my goal this year, even though I've read more books this year after being on BookTube than I've ever read before. But I agree with Ros. If I set that goal that I didn't reach it this year, and I might not reach it next year, I might be tempted to grab smaller books just to be able to reach that goal, which is not what I would like to do. I love chunkers. Why would I do something like that? So I figure I'll do what Triumphal Reads has done, and David at ThePoptimist, and is set it at 52, one book a week, right, depending on the size of the book. But one book a week is, I think, a reasonable number. Number 2, name 5 books that you didn't get to last year but want to make a priority this year in 2020. Well, I did get to this book, which is La Deuda Odiosa y la Descolonización de Puerto Rico, which is a series of articles by José Nicolás Medina Fuentes about our odious debt and how to go about tackling that problem here in Puerto Rico. I got almost halfway through, but I want to finish it. And then there's Victus, the novel about the fall of Barcelona, which I'm supposed to be reading with my daughter. But since, things have been happening, it has not been easy. But since my daughter and I did read 100 Years of Solitude. I think we can do this. Yeah. And then I had borrowed this from my other daughter, one who lives in New York City, Jamil. She had this in her apartment, and I brought it, but I never read it. So I want to read it this year, especially because his second book came out, and I already have it. So I want to read Stamped from the Beginning by Ibram X. Kendi, and then read How to Be an Anti-Racist by him also. Then another one I want to get to is The Insular Cases. I had read another book about the Insular Cases, if you remember, earlier this year. And I want to get to this one, The Insular Cases and the Emergence of American Empire by Bartholomew H. Sparrow. That's been on my list for a long time. And then my friend Joe, I'll link his channel down below, has suggested that for Asianathon, I could read Noli Tangere, which is a Filipino classic from the Philippines. And I fell in love with this translation. I love the translation, and I'm hoping to get to it this year. I had started it, but got sidetracked. I want to get to this one. So those are the 5 that I can talk about briefly. There are a whole lot more, but we got to keep this brief. What genre do you want to read more of? Fantasy. Fantasy. I got N.K. Jemis's The Broken Earth trilogy, and I want to get to that. And a little bit of romance. And some mystery. I'm reading, right now, I'm reading Terror, which I heard about over on Mel's channel at Mel's Bookland Adventures. I think her husband talked about it. Name 3 non-book related goals for this year. Painting 2 things. I have painting on my mind, paint the apartment. But first, we have to treat the roof and against filtering. Yeah, because, cement roofs, sometimes they filter through, and you're supposed to treat them so that that doesn't happen. And I was told that it would be useless for me to paint the apartment unless that treatment was done first. So I'm waiting for that to be done because I live in a condominium, and those things have to be done step by step. And then there's painting my 12-year-old car, which has to last me at least 12 more years. But since it sleeps outside, I've noticed that it's not just my car, but every car that is at least 12 years old in Puerto Rico and sleeps outside has to be repainted if it's to last me. And then I want to continue with my social justice activism. That's very important to me. Those are the 3 things. What's a book you had forever, that you've had forever, that you still need to read? Yes, need to read Don Quixote. Even though I read Don Quixote in high school, I read it in English because I was in Chicago when I was in high school. I want to read it in Spanish. So here it is. And I had started it at the beginning of this year, also got sidetracked. But this has been such an awesome year on BookTube that I think I've learned better reading habits, and I think I can do it. If I could do The Count of Monte Cristo and finish at Canaan's Edge, yeah, I can get this done. And then one word that you are hoping this year will be. One word that captures what my hopes are for this year, 2020. that it will be a just year, that there might be justice, a little bit more justice. That's what I want. One word, tag a friend. Well, you know me, I can't just tag one or two people. There are too many beautiful, wonderful people here on BookTube. Starting off, 10, I'm going to tag people. I'm tagging Karen at Run Right Reads, Kazen at Always Doing, Brian at Bookish, Adriana, who's I just discovered recently, but she's been in BookTube for a while and she lives here in Puerto Rico. Adriana in Between the Pages, Alan Morton, Peg, the Book Prize Addict, Ros at A Journey Through Books. Do it, Ros, before we have to go back to school. Nina at A Corners of a Bookshelf. J.D. Estrada at J.D. Estrada Writer. Brianna at Brianna's Library. Jen at Remembered Reads. And Judy at Reader Woman. I could keep going on and on and on, but time's up. Take care, people. Keep on reading. Cuídense mucho, mi gente. Sigan leyendo. Adiós.